Unexpectedly, he accidentally touched her chest. She glared at him. This further proved that he was a pervert. Daryok said sorry and ran away. When he got in the car, he wondered why he put his hand there. Then he thought again, maybe it wasn't her. But then he dismissed his meaningless argument. At this time, Daryok received a phone call informing him that the person who uploaded the photo had been found. It turned out that the maid's son was happy and uploaded the photo. Seeing that the child was still young, Daryok didn't bother to pursue the matter. Then he looked at the USB and felt extremely uncomfortable. Suddenly, he remembered that he accidentally molested Doran. During the heat day, this made him very embarrassed and wished he would never see her again. But fate is amazing. Duran decided to go to the famous bomb and food company to apply. Meanwhile, Daryok's father is the president of this company. Duran went to the interview because of a stomach ache, so she hurriedly ran to the men's restroom. When she went out, Duran met Daryok again. Daryok saw a woman coming out and thought he had gone to the wrong place, so he quickly bowed his head to apologize and was about to leave. Duran recognized Daryok and thought to herself that this pervert was everywhere, so she rushed to hit him. Suddenly, a job applicant came and said that this was the men's restroom. Only then did Duran realize that she had gone to the wrong place. After apologizing, she hurriedly ran away. At this time, Daryok was mercilessly laughed at by the job applicant. As the CEO of such a big company, he couldn't even say, "This is the men's restroom." Returning to his room, he was extremely angry at being humiliated right in his own company. Suddenly, Daryok remembered the interview card on Doran's chest. He thought she was a candidate who came to the company for an interview, so he immediately called his secretary to bring the resume of the applicant today. Sure enough, he found Doran's resume. This made Daryok feel very pleased. Very quickly, Doran received a text message that she had passed the interview and had successfully advanced to the next round. Seeing the text message that she had passed, she was extremely happy, but Duran didn't know that there was someone secretly waiting for her to come. Daryok sat in his room, wondering how ugly Doran's expression would be when she saw him in the interview tomorrow. He even imagined the prospect of his authority at that time. On this side, Duran's biological father was working as a driver for a wealthy family. That day, Sewell went to the market with his maid to buy things. When he turned the corner, he bumped into a girl pushing a cart of frozen goods. He looked up and saw that it was his daughter, whom he had not seen for 28 years. Because of his criminal record, Sewell did not dare to say that he was Duran's father. Seeing Duran being scolded by the boss, Sewell felt both pity and heartache. He was lost in thought, not paying attention to anything around him. Years ago, Dongchul had promised to raise his daughter well and would not let her work so hard at the market. He suspected that something had happened to Dongchul. So the next day, Soo-il took the opportunity to go to the store where Dongchul used to run, but he found the store closed. Passers-by said that the store owner had died. Hearing this, Soo-il was very surprised. Passers-by said that he had died in a traffic accident a long time ago, and the funeral was over. Soo-il could not believe it, so he frantically smashed the store and called out his good friend's name. It was not until Soo-il came to Dongchul's portrait that he dared to accept this truth. To repay Dongchul's kindness, Soo-il decided to secretly help Dongchul's family. So he went to the bank and withdrew all the savings in the book, then quietly put it in the mailbox in front of Dongchul's house, hoping to reduce the burden on their family. But he did not know that his daughter had been kicked out of the house by Yang Jia. Yang Jia counted the money of unknown origin over and over again and found that it totaled more than 4 million won. Yang Jia thought that this was the money that Dongchul had lent to someone else before he died, so she happily accepted it. That day, Soo-il went to the fruit store to buy fruit for the Chaebol's family, and he also bought a box of oranges and grapes for Dongchul's family. He saw Yang Jia and Mi-ran laughing and talking happily when they returned home, but he did not see Du-ran anywhere. Mi-ran saw oranges and grapes in front of the door and instinctively said that these were the fruit of Furworth, Du-ran's favorite things, but Yang Jia immediately spoke up to stop her daughter from mentioning Mi-ran. Soo-il wondered why Yang Jia said that, so he asked the neighbors passing by. Unexpectedly, he heard that his daughter had been kicked out of the house by Yang Jia. Soo-il was in turmoil. He went to the market where he met Do-ran that day to look for his daughter. When he asked the vegetable stall owner, he knew that Do-ran had quit her job and the owner did not have her contact information. Soo-il did not know where Do-ran would go when she was alone. He did not know if his daughter was okay. Meanwhile, Yang Jia and Mi-ran were at home comfortably enjoying the fruit that was sent. They thought it was sent by the person who sent the money last time. The two did not know how much money they owed and why did they do that. So the two decided to install a camera at the entrance to catch this debtor. Du-ran accidentally helped an elderly woman with memory loss. Unexpectedly, it was the mother of the president of the company she was going to apply for a job. That day, Du-ran was on her way to Bomb and Food for an interview. At At this time, Gumbyung approached Do-ran and pulled her back, continuously calling Do-ran was sister. Gumbyung claimed to be Do-ran's older sister and held her back. Do-ran was in a hurry to go to the interview, so she panicked. After calling the police, Gumbyung found out that the woman had amnesia. The police held Gumbyung back so Do-ran could leave. At this time, Daryok was waiting for her to arrive. He wanted to show off to the woman who had mistaken him for a gigolo, but he waited and waited, but still didn't see her. The interviewer had finished the interview. Daryok didn't know that Do-ran was being held back by his grandmother. Not seeing Do-ran, Daryok was a bit disappointed. He thought she had gone to another company, so he was very angry. This time, Do-ran arrived late and was told that the interview had ended. She went home disappointed and sad, but found her phone was gone. She thought she had lost it when she was arguing with Gumbyung. So Do-ran went to the police station. Gumbyung still hadn't found her family and was crying and demanding to go with Do-ran. Seeing how pitiful Gumbyung was, Do-ran decided to take her home to take care of her. If she found Gumbyung's family, Do-ran would call the police to come to her house to pick up Gumbyung. Do-ran changed Gumbyung's t-shirt and cooked bibimbap. Gumbyung told her about how she and her younger sister had depended on each other in the past. Do-ran thought she had gone through a lot of hardships, but in fact, she was the mother of the boss of a conglomerate, Jin-guk. The police finally called Gumbyung's family to come to Do-ran's house to pick up Gumbyung. The next day, Secretary Yang brought a gift to the police station and asked the police to deliver it to Do-ran. The police also told Secretary Yang that Do-ran had missed her interview in food company because of Gumbyung. After knowing about this, Jin-guk asked Secretary Yang to get Do-ran's file. He found out that she was a very excellent candidate. Her written and interview scores were very high, and he almost missed out on a capable and kind employee. So he met Do-ran and appointed her as his secretary. Do-ran was so happy that she danced all the way. The next day, Do-ran was very excited at work, but encountered an unexpected incident. Do-ran was walking to Jin-guk's room when she accidentally met Daryok. The two looked at each other in surprise. Then Do-ran asked Daryok what he was doing here. Daryok said that he should be the one asking her that question. Hearing that, Do-ran showed Daryok her employee card and said that she was the secretary here. Daryok also showed his employee card. Do-ran found it hard to believe that this gigolo was the general director of the company. Daryok questioned the secretary Yang, who had assigned the job to Do-ran without an interview. The secretary Yang said it was the president. Coincidentally, Jin-guk was also passing by at this time. Thanks to that, Daryok knew that Do-ran was the one who had helped his grandmother. He originally intended to teach Do-ran a lesson, but because of her, he couldn't. Make things tense. At this time, Do-ran was sitting in the corner because she had offended the president's son. She thought she would definitely be retaliated against or fired, but the best way to overcome fear is to face it. So Do-ran took the initiative to bring tea to Daryok. He deliberately said that she had hit his head that day, so he often had headaches and dizziness. Do-ran was very worried when she heard that. Daryok laughed, not expecting this girl to be so easy to fool. On this side, Suil was struggling to find his daughter, but there was no news. Unexpectedly, he met his daughter at the owner's house today. It turned out that Gumbyung's amnesia had relapsed today, so she looked for Do-ran again. Gumbyung had dementia and considered Do-ran as her lost sister. Her son and daughter-in-law came to pick her up, but Gumbyung cried and refused to go home. Do-ran had no choice but to stay by Gumbyung's side to take her home. Suil was able to meet his daughter again. To his surprise, he wondered why she appeared at the chaebol's house. From the maid, he knew that Do-ran was working as a secretary in the chaebol's company and that he had to take her home tonight. Suil drove his daughter, whom he did not dare to tell about their relationship. Tears welled up in his eyes. He thanked God for giving him this opportunity to be with his daughter. Seeing that his daughter was taking care of her life well by herself, he felt relieved. The next day, Gumbyung knew that she was sick and bothered Do-ran, so she invited Do-ran to her house for dinner. The task of picking up Do-ran was given to Suil. He bought his daughter her favorite banana milk and waited for her downstairs of the company building early. Seeing Do-ran drinking the milk deliciously, Suil felt warm inside. Even a small bottle of milk was a father's heart for his daughter. He even kept the empty bottle that she drank. While Suil was happy, he felt sad. The closer he was to Do-ran, the sooner the secret would be discovered. For the sake of his daughter's future, Suil decided to leave. He wanted to ask Gumbyung to resign, but she wanted him to give Do-ran a gift. Suil decided to meet Do-ran one last time and then leave to thank the uncle who often picked her up. Do-ran also prepared a small gift for him. He suggested Do-ran have a bowl of noodles. They went to the noodle shop. Do-ran couldn't help but mention her father. Before, whenever she was sad, her father would take her to eat a bowl of noodles, but he was no longer in this world. He was her only protector in this world. The feeling of losing the person who loved her the most made Do-ran extremely miserable. Seeing his daughter sadly eating noodles, Suil felt very uncomfortable. hospital. At this moment, his heart wavered. He wanted to continue being her protector. Before Duran met someone who could truly protect her, he still needed to protect her. Even though the weather wasn't that cold yet, he put the scarf Duran gave him around his neck. Then he went to Duran's rented house to check if the window was closed tightly. He found that the window railing was loose, so he quickly bought screws to fix and reinforce it. At this time, Duran came home from work, so he had to hide in the corner of the wall and silently observe her. The next day, Duran went to the pharmacy to buy medicine for Daryok because he said he had a headache and was dizzy after she hit him last time. She also wanted to take him to the hospital for a brain scan. Daryok couldn't help but laugh. He couldn't imagine that this thoughtful girl was the one who hit him. Gumbyung, in order to thank Doran for taking care of her, called Doran out and said that I would help you fulfill your dream. But Doran couldn't accept Gumbyung's good intentions. Gumbyung had no choice but to take Doran to the mall and shop for her. But suddenly Jumbyung's amnesia returned. Jumbyung wanted to go to the amusement park with Doran. Jin-guk knew, so he was worried about Jumbyung's safety, so he told Daryok to follow them. Unexpectedly, Jumbyung didn't recognize her nephew and mistook him for a neighbor. Doran had no choice but to suggest going out with Daryok. Jumbyung happily agreed. Doran and Jumbyung ate cotton candy, bought ice cream, and played the electric car happily. When they heard that Jumbyung had returned home, the daughter-in-law and granddaughter-in-law quickly escaped to the second floor. Jumbyung took Doran to her room, then took out her precious box and let Doran choose what Doran liked. Then Jumbyung gave Doran a precious diamond necklace. Before that, Jumbyung couldn't bear to give it to her daughter-in-law. When Gumbyung's daughter-in-law was Unyoung heard about it, she told Jin-guk to go to her room to get the precious box, but he said to let mother be happy. Jumbyung's granddaughter-in-law, Daya, was unhappy because Gumbyung couldn't bear to give it to her before, but now Gumbyung gave it to an outsider. Duran was not unreasonable. While Jumbyung was sleeping, Duran quickly returned the necklace to Unyoung. That night, when Soo-il looked at the photos, he found that Daryok's eyes were always on Doran. The next day, when Jumbyung cleaned out the jewelry box, she discovered that her most precious necklace had disappeared. It seemed that she was gradually forgetting everything around her. Unyoung thought that her mother-in-law's things would be hers anyway, so she didn't return the necklace. She then wore the necklace to show off to her friends. Daryok discovered that he was gradually liking Doran more, so he ended the relationship with the blind date. Unyoung was very surprised when she found out because the blind date was the daughter of the president of a pharmaceutical manufacturing corporation. It was clear that Daryok had agreed to find a proper match before, but now he said he didn't want to meet anymore. Daryok expressed his opinion that he now wanted to marry the person he truly loved. That day, after the party ended, Daryok wanted to take Doran home, but she insisted on taking the subway herself. Unexpectedly, Daryok secretly followed Doran onto the train. However, their houses were not in the same direction. Duran told Daryok that he took the wrong train. He should go the opposite direction, but Daryok told him that this way was fine. He would get home anyway. Duran thought that he had drunk too much and lost control of his behavior, but Daryok still insisted that he was not drunk. On this side, Daya still remembered the story of Gumbyung giving Doran a necklace. When facing Duran, Daya used her identity as the hostess to ask Duran to make coffee for her. At that moment, Soo-il entered and told Doran that she did not need to make coffee because she was not a maid, but Gumbyung's honored guest. Daya was extremely upset that a maid dared to order her around. She turned to Soo-il and said that he was just a paid driver in this house, so why did he interfere in her story? She asked him to leave the house immediately. Duran saw Soo-il being scolded because of her, so she asked Daya to apologize to Soo-il immediately. Just waiting for that, Daya immediately turned around and scolded Doran mercilessly. At this time, Jin-guk and Gumbyung had just returned home. They had heard everything Daya said. Jin-guk was extremely angry. Even people in his position had never treated servants like that. Jin-guk was very disappointed in Daya. Being scolded by father made Daya very angry because Daya's mother was Unyoung's friend. Unyoung tried to protect Daya to keep Daya from being sad. Unyoung gave her Gumbyung's diamond necklace, but they didn't know that when Gumbyung got sick, she would remember her diamond necklace. Jumbyung went straight to Daya's room and rummaged through everything. Jumbyung opened the wardrobe and saw Daya hiding inside. Gumbyung angrily questioned Daya about how you dared to steal my necklace. Daya was scared and quickly returned it. Jin-guk asked Daya why the necklace was with her. Unyoung quickly explained that she was the one who gave the necklace to Daya. Hearing this, Jin-guk was also helpless about these two people. Everyone left, leaving Daya alone, crying. She called her biological mother to complain that she had lost all face in front of Doran. Daya told her biological mother to think of a way to chase Doran away. So Hong-soo went to Unyoung to suggest finding a professional nurse to take care care of Gumbyung. It was not good to depend on Do-ran forever. Eunyoung also thought it made sense, so very quickly, Hongshu found someone who claimed to be the top nurse in the country. Eunyoung introduced Gumbyung's situation to her. She was confident that she could handle the situation well. While they were talking, Gumbyung's dementia relapsed. Gumbyung grabbed the hair and attacked the people in front of her. Hongshu was also not lucky enough to escape. The nurse asked them to move aside. She would calm Gumbyung herself. She was not lying. After a while, Gumbyung obediently fell asleep quietly. No one knew that the secret to Gumbyung's silence was sedatives, so Gumbyung quickly fell ill again. Not seeing Do-ran, Gumbyung refused to listen to the nurse. Gumbyung spilled the entire pack of medicine the nurse brought. Jin-guk returned home and saw his mother making a scene, but he still didn't understand what was going on. Gumbyung was sick, so she called Jin-guk dad and exposed the nurse's crimes. The nurse saw that everything was exposed and quickly ran away. Everyone contacted Do-ran, but no one answered. It turned out that last night Eunyoung told Do-ran not to come to the house to take care of Gumbyung anymore. Eunyoung also used money to humiliate Do-ran. Jin-guk had no choice but to call the doctor to inject sedatives. The doctor looked at the blister pack of pills she had taken and saw that it was a sedative. Without a prescription, you can't use it indiscriminately, otherwise it will cause big problems. Jin-guk looked at his wife and daughter-in-law in surprise. The two of them were also afraid and didn't dare to look straight at Jin-guk. After sending the doctor away, Jin-guk angrily asked them to convince Do-ran to come back. Otherwise, they couldn't enter this house again. So the next day, they went to Do-ran's house, but were refused. First, Do-ran felt that she was not as good as a professional. Second, she wanted to keep her distance from Dae-ryuk. After all, their statuses were different, so there would be no results between the two. Da-ya wanted to use money to solve everything. Da-ya said, Do-ran, that I would pay you a little more for your salary. This hurt Do-ran's pride. Do-ran didn't want to say anything more, so she refused Eunyoung and went into the house. Eunyoung angrily turned to blame Da-ya for not doing anything but destroying things. Eunyoung had no choice but to blame Do-ran. The intention was to let Jin-guk see Do-ran being arrogant and not wanting to come to the house anymore. Jin-guk wondered how a kind person like Do-ran could behave like that, so Eunyoung must have done something. So Jin-guk told Eunyoung that if she couldn't bring Do-ran back, she didn't think about entering this house anymore. So Eunyoung had to continue looking for Do-ran to convince her. Do-ran didn't want Eunyoung to bother her, so she went to the park. At this time, Do-ran received a call from Jin-guk, but as soon as she picked up the phone, Jumbyung asked her where she was going. Could it be that Do-ran didn't care about her anymore? Do-ran was a little shaken when she heard that. Because they had been in contact many times, Do-ran considered Gumbyung as his relative, so Do-ran immediately went to Jin-guk's house. On this side, Dae-ryuk confessed to a girl and was accidentally seen by Soo-il. He began to pay attention to this guy. Apparently, he had recently been seen dating other women. Not long ago, he came to bother Do-ran. Soo-il thought that Dae-ryuk was a playboy who just wanted to play with his daughter. Dae-ryuk saw that Soo-il and Do-ran were close, so he wanted Soo-il to say good things about him to her. Soo-il agreed, but then he advised Do-ran not to be easily moved by a rich man like Dae-ryuk. In the end, she would be the one to suffer. Soo-il did not want her daughter to be hurt. Do-ran did not know that the person in front of her was her biological father, so she naively agreed to his request. Dae-ryuk had already started to pursue Do-ran intensely. Every day, he took her to the bus stop and found excuses to go out with her to do market research. When they went out to eat, he kept complimenting her on her beauty. When Do-ran heard these words, she thought Dae-ryuk was joking. She said she didn't like him, but when she didn't see him at the bus stop, she unconsciously looked around. Dae-ryuk suddenly appeared and was very happy to see Do-ran looking for him. Do-ran was embarrassed and didn't admit it, but Dae-ryuk teased her. That day, Gumbyung fell ill, so she called Do-ran to go on a picnic. The group went to the park. The scene was so harmonious and warm that it looked like a real family. At this moment, a gust of wind blew Gumbyung's hat away. Gumbyung wanted to pick it up, but accidentally slipped and almost rolled down the slope. In the emergency, Do-ran pushed Gumbyung to the shore while she rolled down. Do-ran's neck hit the tree trunk hard, causing her to faint. Dae-ryuk was extremely worried and quickly carried Do-ran to the hospital.